Welcome everyone to a brand new explainer. I'm absolutely pumped to share today's story with you. We're going to be unpacking this amazing little microfable, one that's actually inspired by the legendary tales of 1001 Nights. Now, you might be wondering, why fables? Well, they're kind of like giant puzzles. They take these massive, incredibly complex aspects of human behavior and just distill them down into a simple, unforgettable story. Today, we're looking at what seems, on the surface at least, to be a story about a royal picnic that went completely off the rails. But underneath all that, it's literally a masterclass in conflict resolution, human psychology, and the strategic use of what we'd call soft power. We're going to break this whole shebang down step by step. Section 1, the royal picnic theft, the heist of the century. Okay, let's dive into this. Picture the scene. The absolute power and total control of a royal setting suddenly turned completely upside down by the ultimate agent of chaos. A hungry monkey stole the king's lunch, but what happened next shocked everyone. I mean, think about the stakes here. It is not just about a missing sandwich. It's a massive public affront to royal authority. You've got a king who literally commands armies, and he's just been robbed in broad daylight by a tiny, hungry monkey. The tension in that royal court must have been absolutely palpable. The king is fuming, the guards are freaking out, and everyone is just holding their breath to see how this incredible display of disrespect is going to be handled. Let's walk through the timeline of how fast this thing escalates. Step 1. The mischievous monkey grabs the delicious lunch. A total crime of opportunity, right? Step 2. The monkey races up a tall palm tree. He immediately goes for the high ground, a place where the usual ground-based authority literally cannot touch him. And then, step 3, the royal guards chase everywhere, but the monkey just laughs and tosses fruit down at them. Notice the complete breakdown of order here? The guards are the ultimate earthly authority, heavily armed, highly trained. But against this super agile, specific disruption, they are entirely useless. They're running around, panicking, and the monkey is literally up there mocking them, using the tree itself as a weapon to lob fruit at their heads. The harder the guards try to use force, the more ridiculous they look, and the more dug in that monkey gets. Section 2. A tale of two tactics, brute force versus soft power. We are about to see two drastically different approaches to this royal mess. And this brilliantly illustrates the exact difference between these two paradigms. Look at the guards. Their go-to tactic: chase the monkey everywhere. They relied entirely on aggressive force, literally pulling out swords to fight a small animal in a tree. The result? Total embarrassing failure. They got mocked, they got pelted with fruit, the whole conflict just escalated. But then, enter the musician, a poor street musician who has absolutely none of the status, armor, or weapons that the guards do. His method? He just played a cheerful tune. He completely shifted the vibe and the energy of the environment. And the result? A dancing, totally compliant monkey who climbs down all on his own. The musician didn't try to fight the monkey's nature, he engaged with it. He provided something that made the monkey actually want to cooperate. The aggressive force just built a wall of resistance, but that cheerful tune, it created harmony. Section 3. The King's Reward. The aftermath of the cheerful tune. Let's look at the amazing positive outcomes of this creative little intervention. The tension is finally broken. The crisis is completely averted, and not with a shout or a sword, but with a song. And the king? He is absolutely thrilled by this plot twist. So the crucial point is the profound realization the king has right in this very moment. He declares to the entire court, music can solve problems that swords never can. I really want you to let that sink in for a second. We're talking about a powerful king, a guy whose whole rule is backed by the threat of violence, openly admitting that brute force has its limits. He realizes that when it comes to complex, tricky, everyday problems, aggression isn't just unhelpful, it actually makes things worse. Music, which is basically a stand-in for creativity, soft power, and emotional intelligence, was literally the only key that could open this specific lock. Let's break down exactly how massive of a success this was for everyone involved. By dropping the sword and picking up the song, we don't just fix the problem, we create the ultimate win-win-win-win scenario. First off, the king laughed hard and got his delicious lunch back, so his authority is safe, but more importantly, his mood is totally transformed. Second, the poor street musician was rewarded with a bag of gold, which, let's be real, is a total life changer for him. Third, all that awful tension evaporates and everyone in the court celebrated. But honestly, my absolute favorite outcome? The mischievous monkey, the guy who started this whole chaotic mess, received a basket of bananas. The conflict wasn't solved by punishing the troublemaker. It was solved by fulfilling his core need. I mean, he was a hungry monkey after all. By addressing that root cause with kindness instead of violence, absolute harmony was restored to the picnic. Section 4. The smarter solution: laughter and kindness. Let's bring this all home and see how this little fable turns into a profound life lesson for our own everyday conflicts. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how it completely reframes what we think of as being smart during a conflict. Sometimes laughter and kindness are the smartest solutions. We so often write off kindness or humor as being weak, right? Or just as fluffy things we only use when everything is already going great. But this story proves the exact opposite. Laughter and kindness are absolutely crucial, highly strategic tools. Actually, scratch that. They might be the most strategic tools you have. When you run into an irrational problem, like say a monkey stealing your lunch and hiding in a tree, meeting it with rigid, aggressive force is just a massive tactical error. It's a total waste of energy. Humor and creativity aren't just nice ideas. As that street musician proved, they are insanely effective tools that can instantly disarm a situation, totally bypass resistance, and get you the exact result you want without any of the messy collateral damage of a fight. Which brings us to our final thought for today's explainer. I want you to think about the challenges you're dealing with in your own life right now. Maybe it's a super difficult coworker, a really stubborn problem, or a stressful negotiation. Are you running around the bottom of the tree waving a sword and getting pelted with fruit? Or are you willing to take a step back, read the room, and maybe try broadcasting on a different frequency? I'm going to leave you with this question to chew on today. When faced with a challenge, will you use a sword or a song? Thank you so much for joining me to explore this incredibly fun and insightful story, and I'll catch you in the next explainer.